It's important to get all that code in there properly.
Okay.
If you started in the middle of the touch-off sequence, it would probably hang up and throw an error in Command CNC.
Okay.
You'd get a message saying like the probe is tripped when it's calling for the probe because it would mess up its initial height sensing.
Yeah,
Its
that makes
touch and
sense.
go.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So I'm going to have you hit run from line. It's going to move back to here. Then it's going to go back up and move to that pierce point. Right, you hit run from line, right?
Oh.
Ah, no, you just hit run, didn't you?
I did.
Okay, so this is a great opportunity. Let's stop the G-code. Select this traverse line, which is going from our last successful cut to the cut that we failed on.
So you just redo it.
Yep.
You do the same thing.
Yep. We're just redoing the same thing, just what I did before.
Gotcha.
M5. We're going to select the M5. Yep. Yep.
And then now it's run from line.
Yeah.
You see, I did that on purpose so you teach me.
Uh-huh. That's what this is all about. This is your world now. All right, so we're cutting our holes. We're moving over to cut the open line. Then we're going to go and cut the big hole. All of a sudden, power went out. It tried to establish that arc, but we blew the breaker.
Sure.
Shit. Well, what do we do now? We're going to follow this same process. First thing we're going to do is we're going to stop because right now it's in a hold motion and the torch is on.
Okay.
That's lit up saying it's trying to fire the torch. If I turned the plasma cutter back on right now, it would immediately fire. It's got a torch on signal on the PWM sensor, so it's telling it to turn the torch on.
So first thing, stop it.
First things first, stop it. Good. All right, now that we've stopped it, we can solve the issue that caused the problem to begin with. That would be flipping the breaker back on.
Right.
I'm going to turn the plasma cutter back on. We don't have any codes or errors or anything like that, although that could have been what occurred.
Mm-hmm.
It could have gone to Pierce and no air pressure. Somebody shut off the air compressor on their way out the door, and you didn't know it. And so you would throw a code there, and it would act very similarly. So you stop the program, you fix whatever the problem was, and then you rewind your G-code. We're going to do the transition line from our last successful cut, which was this open line, to where we failed, which was that hole right there. You can actually see what's been cut and what hasn't, because this stuff is all pink. Everything that's pink is indicated that it's already been cut.
Okay.
Things that are white have not been cut yet. So, I'm going to have you select the transition line from the previous cut, and that is that line right there.
What if, let's just say I for whatever reason I choose the wrong line. Let's say I were to choose that one.
Mm-hmm.
What would happen?
It's going to, well, we're going to select the M5 previous to that, right?
Okay.
And so that would be torch off at that hole,
Oh.
right? Because that was the first hole we cut. The M5 would be right there at torch off. It would move the torch to this point. It would then move the torch to this point, follow the line that you selected. It would then try to fire the torch and cut this hole again. Because that hole's so small, it probably would establish the arc.
Yeah.
But in some situations, it may have blown all that steel out, and it wouldn't establish an arc. So there would be no arc OK signal coming through your PWM sensor. It would throw this thing into a hold motion. We'd get a hold there, and it wouldn't go anywhere. It wouldn't do anything. However, since that hole's so small, it probably would grab that arc. And so it would recut that hole, and then it would recut this line, and then it would move to here and start cutting that.
Gotcha.
That line would end up a little bit thicker. That hole would end up a little bit bigger than it's supposed to be.
Alrighty, so then we said it's this one?
Yep. And we're going to go back to the M5 because we want torch off so that we get that